let's see that in practice. I'm going to go to Bridge and I'm going to open up this raw file into Camera Raw. And in Camera Raw, we have a white balance section here in the upper right with a temperature and a tint slider. Now we see this image here as you can see, it's as shot. And I could also go to daylight and you'll see there's not much of a change there, a slight change, but this is shot in midday or actually probably a little bit late afternoon. You can tell by the shadows. This was on a June day. And the light is a mix of skylight, which is blue, and sunlight, which is warmer color or hotter, or well, let's just think of it in terms of yellower. And so that mix really combines to create our classic daylight 5,000 degrees Kelvin, or that range 5,000 to 5,500 degrees Kelvin that we look on as being neutral light. And that doesn't evoke any particular emotion. When you're looking at an image that is just dead on neutral light, the content of the image might evoke emotion, but the lighting itself doesn't, because it's simply midday. It's neutral. There's nothing in there that would really evoke a strong response from the viewer. Now I'm going to go to the temperature slider and I'm going to drag the temperature slider to the left towards the blue end. And as I get towards the blue end, the emotion of the image instantly becomes colder. It evokes night. You get a feeling of nighttime and coolness. Whereas if I drag that slider to the right, you instantly get a feeling of warmth. And this could be sunrise or sunset. It evokes some romance and love and affection and all those emotions that we tend to associate with these colors that we call warmer colors on this yellow end. Now, I'm going to reset that and let's talk about tint. When I drag the tint slider to the left, we get to the green end, and that really just sort of evokes mold. And if I go to the other end of the slider here, to the magenta end, that evokes sort of apocalyptic weather. Maybe there's a tornado watch, which might make you want to run for cover. Some weather's on the way. So these colors evoke also an emotion, but they can be flipped around. You could say, well, the green and the magenta colors could also evoke cotton candy and a summer day at an amusement park or a circus. We see these colors in neon and circuses and in signage. They are fun and lively colors. That evokes a very different emotional response. So depending on the image these were applied to, you might think in terms of apocalyptic weather, but if it were applied to a circus image, you might think in terms of, well, this is the neon glow of the lights on the Ferris wheel, and a very different feeling, more of a fun feeling. So colors can evoke a very strong response in the viewer, and depending on the coloration that you give to images, you have that control, you have that power to create that response in your viewers and get that response to draw the viewer's attention into your images and give them a feeling, a rewarding feeling as they view your images, not just from the content of the image, but the content and the coloration combined to create a synergy where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts.